Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the PACS Commission meeting. I'll call it to order at 6 p.m. And at this time, I'd like to invite Commissioner DeSico to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Commissioner.
Item 3, roll call. Commissioner Rutherford.
Present.
Commissioner DeSico.
Present.
Chair Erickson.
Here.
Vice Chair McNabb. Commissioner Fay. Present. And Commissioner Frager. The record will reflect that all commissioners are present, excluding Commissioner Ashendorf. Item 4, approval of the minutes of the January 23rd, 2020 meeting of the PACS Commission.
Is there any discussion? I'll move to approve. Oh, please.
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Please call for the question.
The motion carries 6-0-1 with Commissioner Ashendorf absent.
Thank you. Item 5 is public comments to ensure fair and equal treatment of all those who appear before the Parks, Arts, and Community Services Commission and to expedite city business. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes during public comment. There will be a 30-second warning. You'll get a beep, and that'll give you a chance to wrap up your comments. Please fill out a blue speaker card or just come to the dais at this time. Please state your name and the city in which you reside for the record.
Hi, my name is Olga Zapata Reynolds, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the City Nature Challenge that Costa Mesa is participating in. And I'm going to preface it by, first of all, stating that I don't want to step on the toes of anybody in the city staff because I know they're one of our partners, but I just want to update you on what's going on our end. So about 5 years ago, San Francisco and Los Angeles had this competition to see who could get the most people out in nature and then they recorded all their observations using the app iNaturalist. Well, this year is the 5th year, and there's over 260 cities worldwide that are participating, and Costa Mesa is kind of leading the effort for OC. So we're actually really proud about that. And basically what it is we're just on April 24th, on April 24th through the 27th, we're just going to ask the residents of Costa Mesa to go out and use the app iNaturalist to make observations of wildlife, whether it's under your rocks or under a log or out in the park. It's a very low-level commitment on any of our partners who, it doesn't, people don't have to sign up or anything, they just have to log on to the website. And we've already had a couple of trainings for people who want to get some information on how to use iNaturalist. And we have another one on Saturday from 10 to 11:30 at the Newport Bay Conservancy. And currently they're one of our partners, as well as the California Native Plant Society and Bolsa Chica. Some of those people are working with us. So people are really excited, and we hope that you guys get on the ball. And I am gonna organize a blitz for all your assigned parks to see, before the event, to see who can get more people out there on observations, and I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Seeing no one else approaching the dais, I will close public comment. Item number 6 is commissioner comments, and I will start to my far right. Commissioner Rutherford.
Thank you, Chair Erickson. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I just wanted to start off by asking if Director Aguilar, if you wouldn't mind forwarding the link that Olga mentioned to all the commissioners, just so we can be on top of that when that date does roll around on April 24th. I also wanted to say I had a really great time riding my bike out with Councilmember Reynolds, with Commissioner McNabb, with Assemblywoman Cotty Petrie-Norris on her monthly bike rides. And I've been riding my bike a lot. I rode it here tonight, and I encourage you all to go on those bike rides with Councilmember Reynolds and register your bike with the city. It's very important. I was also really assured that the Planning Commission recently approved what voters approved in 2016, which is new development impact fees that will go to fund parks and other improvements in the city. I think that's something that all of us on this commission should be excited about. It's going to mean more money going into parks and open space in the city. I wanted to also thank city staff, particular Director Aguilar, Secretary Birch, for your hard work. I know that city staff is spread thin at this time and that there's a lot of various projects going on, and especially with the coronavirus health threat that the city's facing. So I really appreciate all the hard work that's being done, and especially to accommodate some of the priorities of our commissioners up here, including activating public parks, movement on the skate park issue. I think it's a really exciting time for Costa Mesa and the activation that's happening in the city. So excited about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner DeSico.
Yes, I also wanted to thank the city for adding that donation button. I think that'll be a really good way to raise funds for what people want, and also to be able to poll them to see what people are interested in the Costa Mesa getting out there and what they want to see built. I also wanted to thank city staff as well for meeting with me with concerns that people have had in some of my parks and some of the field spaces. I met with them and was able to get some answers for these user groups. And so I want to thank you for your time that you took putting that together. Thank you. And that's it. I love Costa Mesa.
Thank you, Commissioner. To my left.
Good evening. Thank you. Would just like to mention that Tuesday evening I had the opportunity to come and listen to the Soy concert, the Save Our Youth concert that was held in the lobby of City Hall, and it was a really proud moment for the families and the musicians, and it was a very special evening. So I am so proud of the city for, prioritizing arts opportunities for our residents, and also congratulate Barbara Owens. She is our featured artist up on Art on the 5th. And so, I think it's so wonderful for community artists to be, Costa Mesa specific artists to be able to participate in these programs. And then I would also like to mention about our current public health crisis. The COVID-19 virus is a serious situation that we all need to pay attention to and address. And I did have the opportunity to speak with one of the UCI public health deans today, and she imparted that it is the best thing we really can do is wash our hands properly, which means for 20 seconds, especially when we're at this heightened sense of concern. Soap is best. It is preferable to the bacterial hand sanitizers, but that works as long as there is at least 60% alcohol in it. We want to be cognizant of the impacts that it could potentially have on our residents, and just be vigilant about staying home if we're sick, and really heeding the advice from the healthcare agencies that are directing us. So that is my one wish, is that we can try to protect our community from any spread of this very serious virus. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. On to Commissioner Fay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for that, Vice Chair McNabb. I think that that's probably the most important thing that we can all be focusing on right now. And I think alongside that, I want to thank our mayor and our city council and our city attorneys and our outside attorneys, who are all really taking a strong charge. If they weren't on the mark to respond very quickly to some of the work that the state and the federal government were doing to try to relocate things very close to home, then we would be in having a very very different conversation today. So thank you to our city council and to our mayor and to our attorneys who are working very hard to protect our community. Also, on a positive note of engagement, I think we still have a couple more days left for members of the community to apply to some of our open positions on our city committees. So I believe it is March 2nd is the closing time. Monday, March 2nd, I think it's 5 p.m. You should be able to find information on the city council website of a number of different committees that have open spaces: the Bikeway and Walkability Committee, the Finance and Pension Committee, the Housing and Public Service Committee, Historical Preservation, Cultural Arts, and there's more. So please, if you're interested in getting involved in local government and where it is the closest to home, we would love to have you join us and be part of these committees. It really means a lot. I also just want to respond to some communication that's come in from the park district that I am assigned to in District 3 over surrounding Brentwood Park. And there's some communication that's come in from a particular group of neighbors that have some concerns about a bench there. I wanted to just acknowledge that communication and also just clarify that city has had numerous conversations about the best approach forward there for those that are concerned about any parks or see any activity that might be illegal or might be dangerous. Please do report that to the police. It's not an additional burden that you're putting on them, but unless we have that information where you're reporting things, then we don't have that to fall back on to make decisions about what to do going forward. So please do that. On the other side of one concern of that group is another group that has done some great work around putting together a different opinion on wanting to have more benches and play space in Brentwood Park in particular. So if you're interested in that as well, you can also look at Brentwood Park. They actually created a website. It's brentwoodpark.info, I believe, that has some more history on that side. And I also just wanted to note that we have started to plan consultation with the skate community that came out to us at our one of our last meetings recently. So we're planning a community survey and some community meetings coming up, and we will be communicating that to all of you as soon as it is planned. So really excited about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. On to Commissioner Frager.
Good evening, everyone. I just have a couple of updates. I attended the quarterly city leaders gathering put on by Trellis, and I got to hear our beautiful new city manager, Lori Ann Farrell Harrison, share a bit of her story and vision for the city, which was such a treat. So thank you to all who organized that and are committed to joining forces to serve Costa Mesa. I've also attended the last couple of Cultural Arts Committee meetings, and I have to say how impressed and grateful I am that we have such amazing community members who are so dedicated to the arts in our community here. They've provided a handful of grants for awesome local organizations and artists, and I can't wait to see the results of those opportunities. They are continuing to secure utility box art and in order to up the commitments in order to raise funds for these grants, and they're just doing a really great job, so I wanted to publicly thank them here. Along those lines, I was also they organized the Youth Art Gallery reception the other night for Save Our Youth, and so I just wanted to also second what Commissioner McNabb mentioned about them being just such a proud group of people that night. The sweet band that they put together who got to perform in front of their parents and city officials. It was just a really rewarding night for all of the people in attendance. And I wanted to announce that applications for Arts Express, which is Pacific Symphony Summer Arts Immersion Program, are available on the Symphony website. They are for current 6th and 7th grade students. And each summer, students from all over Orange County come together to explore different art forms while learning more about themselves and others in order to build confidence and make meaningful connections. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Students can only attend once. And financial aid is available for all students based on need. It's a very customized approach when it comes to tuition. And also, Pacific Chorale Academy will perform the national anthem in America the Beautiful this next Tuesday at City Council. And this program is a unique combination of music education and community building. As part of a choir, students improve their persistence, teamwork, and self-discipline and learn musical skills like reading music and singing with a healthy vocal tone. It will be students from Killybrook and led by Teresa Schneider and Brianna Harley. So come out and support one of our amazing community arts partnerships this Tuesday night at City Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll just add a few comments. Appreciate all your input tonight. There's so many good things going on in the city. I'm sure I couldn't remember all of them, so thank you. But a couple things. Earlier this month, I attended Coffee with a Cop. It happens at about a quarterly rate in Costa Mesa, and it's what it sounds. The cops go to a coffee shop, and you can have coffee with them and ask questions. And, you know, arts, parks, cops, bicycles, they all go together. And one thing I asked the cop I was speaking with is, if I see something that's just doesn't look right in my neighborhood, you know, a car parked funny, you know, something going on that's kind of weird, what should I do? I mean, I don't think a crime's going on, but it doesn't look right. He just said, call it in. Call it in. It doesn't really matter if we can make it there in time. Let's say the car moves between the time you call it in and the time we arrive. That's okay. Call it in because it may help your neighbor. Something suspicious, if you see it and it seems weird, call it in. And the same goes for our parks. If you're out there and something doesn't seem right, call it in. It's no trouble, as someone else said tonight, for the police to at least acknowledge it, try to make it there, scope the scene out, and take a log of it so that we could establish a pattern. So I took that away, and I'd encourage you to look for that next Coffee with a Cop. It'll be probably April, May, June timeframe. Arts, parks, and schools tend to go together, and I was really encouraged to see a local Costa Mesa artist work with Victoria Elementary to paint murals all over their handball walls recently. So Cody Parole is a Costa Mesa native, grew up here, and he just did a great job at that park, which is also a school, I should say. And he's done work at Davis and some other schools in the district. So I was very happy to see that happen at a neighborhood school. And with that, I'll close my comments. So we'll move on to the consent calendar. Let's see here, reset this. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will be enacted in one motion in the form listed below. If there's no separate discussion of these items, the commission will vote in one fell swoop. Upon invitation by the chairperson, members of the public who wish to discuss the consent calendar should come forward to the microphone, state your name and the city which you reside, and the item number. We have a few things on the consent calendar. Is anyone in the public wishing to speak on them? And
I would like to pull item A, please.
yes. 7A is the approval of dog agility equipment. Staff?
Thank you, Chair Erickson and members of the commission. This evening, we have our Assistant Recreation Supervisor, Tracy Haberger, who is the staff liaison to the Animal Services Committee, to introduce our Eagle Scout and talk a little bit about the project.
Good evening, Chair Erickson and the members of the commission. My name is Tracy Haberger, Assistant Recreation Supervisor for the Parks and Community Services Department. Tonight, I'll be walking you through the proposed donation of dog agility equipment for the Costa Mesa Bark Park. The city received a request from Dean Romine, a Life Scout with the Boy Scouts of America, to focus his Eagle Rink project on the city's Bark Park. His plan was to provide dog agility equipment at the Bark Park for the purpose of enhancing the park, as well as to create physical, mental, and social benefits for the dogs and their owners. To obtain the equipment, Dean planned to conduct fundraisers in order to seek donations from dog enthusiasts through social media, flyers, and advertising at local pet stores and with local veterinarians, and set a goal to raise at least $3,000 to purchase 5 agility items. Dean was invited by the staff to present his project proposal to the Animal Services Committee at the September 25th, 2019 meeting, ultimately impressing the committee members and beginning his collaboration with staff to initiate his project. Dean created a GoFundMe account that was advertised on flyers, which were distributed throughout the city, as well as on the city's social media accounts, website, and at facilities and parks, including the Bark Park. Dean also attended the Animal Care Services Barktoberfest event in October 2019 to begin fundraising and to promote his plan to the public. On November 20th, 2019, Dean presented a project update to the Animal Services Committee, stating that he surpassed his fundraising goal by raising $3,500 in under 2 months. During this meeting, the committee moved to approve the project and to use the funds to purchase dog agility equipment. Following the approval, Dean worked with the city's parks equipment vendor, Dave Bang and Associates, and purchased 5 dog agility items, which were delivered to the city in December 2019. I would like to now turn your attention to the monitors. The 5 individual items as seen in these slides include a teeter-totter, agility walk, a wall jump, weave poles, and a weight table. Upon approval by this commission, the installation of the donated dog agility equipment will have minimal fiscal impact on the city. The equipment installation will be included in the proposed Bark Park rehabilitation project if approved by City Council. Since the agility equipment consists of only 5 separate pieces, the city's Parks and Community Services Department and Maintenance Services Division will collaborate on the best placement of these items to ensure proper usage and overall safety at the Bark Park. Once the equipment has been installed, the city will be responsible for maintaining the new equipment, and the ongoing maintenance costs will be absorbed into existing budgets. Staff recommends that the Parks, Arts, and Community Services Commission approve the donation of the dog agility equipment from Dean Romine to be installed at the Costa Mesa Bark Park. This concludes my presentation, and I would like to invite Mr. Dean Romine to speak on his project. Following his comments, Mr. Romine and I are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Dean Romine, and I'm an Eagle Scout. And on behalf of the project, I would just like to thank Tracy and John Stevens and the Animal Services Committee for being very helpful with bringing my idea to fruition. They're very helpful in helping me raise funds and very flexible with my short schedule. And I'm grateful that we were able to work together to provide this for the dogs and to provide this for the owners. And I hope that we will be able to have a lasting effect on Costa Mesa. And if you guys have any questions, I am open to answer all of them.
Thank you, Mr. Romine. Are there any questions from the commission?
I don't have a question, but I'd like to make a comment.
Sure.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Mr. Romine. It's really a inspirational thing that you have done for our city, and I appreciate your hard work toward benefiting the community and dog owners such as myself. Lulu and I will absolutely love participating at the dog park on your agility equipment that you took the initiative to get for the city. So I commend you on your efforts, and I say thank you on behalf of the city of Costa Mesa. Well done.
Thank you.
Perfect comment. I think we could all say the same. Are there any other questions or comments for the presenter?
I have one comment.
I just wanted to add on to that and say, yeah, I'm moved by this. I think all of us are moved by this. Like seeing somebody step up and go out of their way to do this for the city, it's very moving, and I encourage you to keep on with it. I think you have a bright future, so thank you very much.
Thank you guys too. Just thanks again for helping me out on this. I couldn't have done it without you guys.
Well, we really appreciate the effort, and we do have another comment here.
Yeah, just quickly, I think this is a great example for our whole community at what can happen if one person gets an idea and then gets together other people that can help fund it and make it happen. Sometimes it takes years to get things happening in a city environment, and this is just amazing that you've done it so quickly, so thank you for doing it.
All right.
And if I could make one last comment, I would like to congratulate Ms. Hebiger on being Employee of the Month. She was presented a special certificate by City Manager Farrell Harrison, and we're very proud of you. So thank you so much. I know that you work really hard for all of our residents, and it really makes a difference in the community. So congratulations.
All right. At this time, are there any other questions, comments, or otherwise regarding the item?
I just had a quick question. Do we know the date that it's planned on being installed, and do you need any other workers? I see that you collaborated with a couple other Boy Scout troops, which is great to bring a community of people together.
Currently, no, we do not have an exact date, but we are working on that.
Okay. Yeah, if you could keep us posted on that, I think that'd be great. You
All
know,
right.
people in the community, including people in this room, to come out and help you with that. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And I actually have a question more so for staff. I heard during the presentation that this project will be enveloped in the larger Bark Park rehab proposal, which I think comes up next month at the council level. I mean, would there be any chance at all that this gentleman's project couldn't proceed if parts of that rehab project were scuttled?
I can answer that. Thank you,
Yeah.
Commissioner. Chairman Erickson. Currently, it is planned, you are correct, the turf and soil rehabilitation project will be brought forth in March, and it incorporates into the design the dog agility equipment as donated. That's one of the reasons we did not move forward with the installation at a sooner time, because it would have just had to be removed. And as part of the whole turf remodel, we will now be able to design an area that will be specific for the equipment, which may be a DG area. We haven't got to the design portion, but we're talking about doing a disintegrated granite area with a curb and possibly another little fence, so that users would go in, go through the course, get to the weight table, and then exit out.
Okay.
Have another question. I wondered if we might be able to take a short break and have the commission take a photo with Mr. Romine, if he wouldn't mind. I think we'll probably get to say we knew him when, and it's something that I think for my annual parks report, I would like to add, if that's amenable with you. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Great.
All right. Let's take a minute and get a picture. All right. Well, at this time, I'd like to close comment on the issue. And if there's nothing further, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented. Do I have a second?
Yep, I'll second.
Thank you. Let's call for the question.
The motion is approved 6-0 with Commissioner Ashendorf being absent.
Thank you. On to item number 8 in the agenda. We have 2 presentations tonight. Staff, take it away.
Thank you, Chair Erickson. And members of the commission, this evening we also have Assistant Recreation Supervisor Mariana Pena, who will be providing you with the annual Arts and Culture Programs update. Ms. Pena is the temporary staff liaison to the Cultural Arts Committee.
Good evening, commissioners and members of the public. My name is Mariana Pena, and I am the Assistant Recreation Supervisor for the Parks and Community Services Department and the Interim City Liaison for the Costa Mesa Cultural Arts Committee. Today, I have the privilege to present the annual Arts and Culture Update for 2019. The Costa Mesa Cultural Arts Committee is comprised of 11 members with the mission to support cultural arts programs and to bring awareness to the residents of Costa Mesa, the City of the Arts, by offering the annual Art Venture event, art galleries, programs, and resources. The committee meets on the second Thursday of the month at 6:45 p.m. at City Hall. Art Venture, our city's signature art event, is a juried art show that takes place at the prestigious Segerstrom Center for the Arts. The two-day community event exhibited more than 150 local artists and entertained more than 2,000 attendees. The Youth Art Gallery is located on the first floor of City Hall. The gallery exhibits artwork from Costa Mesa youth through partnerships with nonprofit organizations and Costa Mesa schools. In 2019, the Youth Art Gallery featured artwork from Costa Mesa Middle School, Waldorf School of Orange County, Shalimar Learning Center, and Sonora Elementary School. The Art on the Fifth Gallery is located on the fifth floor of City Hall. The gallery exclusively exhibits artwork from professional artists in Costa Mesa. The committee members host a reception for the featured artists where the public can view the artwork and meet the artists while enjoying some refreshments. The pictures that you see on the slide are from the past 4 receptions. I am happy to report that the Art on the Fifth Gallery has also expanded into Meeting Room 1A with the addition of hanging art systems. On the other side of town is our third art gallery. The exhibit is located at the Costa Mesa Senior Center. The gallery exclusively exhibits artwork from Costa Mesa artists aged 50 years and older. In 2019, the exhibit expanded from the staircase gallery to the second floor of the Senior Center with the addition of 3 hanging art systems. Like Art on the Fifth, the committee members host a reception for the featured artists. The Utility Box Art Program was launched in 2015 to bring art into public spaces. Artistic vinyl wraps are used to cover city-owned utility boxes and encompass the artwork of local artists. Currently, there are 33 completed boxes, which is an increase of 9 utility boxes since 2018. All proceeds from sponsored boxes fund the Arts Grant Program. In 2019, the Orange County Fair graphic design team sponsored 2 utility boxes located at Harbor Boulevard in Wilson and another utility box at Fair Drive and Civic Center. The grant program was established to support and grow the arts community in Costa Mesa. Grants up to $500 may be awarded to art groups or individuals. In 2019, a total of 3 grants were provided to local artists. The Costa Mesa Directory of the Arts serves as a resource to highlight Costa Mesa's ever-growing population of local artists, arts organizations, and galleries. Currently, the directory encompasses 63 artists and 21 art organizations. In June 2019, the Parks, Arts, and Community Services Commission recommended to move the Arts and Culture Master Plan forward to City Council for adoption. Currently, staff are locating viable funding options to support the plan's goals before it is taken to City Council for adoption later this year. The purpose of the City of Costa Mesa Arts and Culture Plan is to develop a 5 to 10-year strategic plan that defines the role of the city in supporting arts and culture and the role of arts and culture in accomplishing the city's broader goals. Smart Camp, a free 4-week summer camp available to children entering 4th through 8th grade, consists of 3 separate offerings broken down into half-day sessions for sports, music, and arts. The camp is funded and organized by the City of Costa Mesa in partnership with the Newport Mesa Unified School District staff. In 2019, a total of 487 children participated in Smart Camp. In addition to Smart Camp, the Parks and Community Services Department offers a variety of arts and culture related classes, from visual arts to culinary arts and dance for all ages. In closing, I would like to highlight upcoming local art-related events in the city. In July, Concerts in the Park will kick off on July 7th at Fairview Park. Also save the date for Art Venture. Art Venture will take place on September 11th and 12th at the Renee and Henry Segerstrom Concert Hall. Also, do not forget to follow the Costa Mesa Arts Committee on Facebook at Costa Mesa CAC to stay up to date on all city art events. That concludes my presentation, and I would be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments from the commissioners? Okay.
So you mentioned the master arts and culture master plan will be coming. Do we have any closer time frame expectation of when that might be presented to council?
Not at this time, but we're looking in 2020, for a date in 2020.
Okay, thank you. Well, and also I will comment that it is just an amazing array of offerings and really an exceptional job that you all do. So, I mean, we are, as a commission, really grateful to you for everything that you've done on behalf of the arts and the community. So thank you very much.
I'd like to add one. It stood out to me last year this time, and it stood out to me again, but that Smart Camp, 4 free weeks in the summer, what an amazing value, what an amazing offering for kids and parents in the summer. And what can we do to just market the heck out of that and make sure that the schools know about it, and parents and kids, maybe through PTA, through you name it, to just make sure that that's just an overwhelming success again. Is there any?
We can look at ways to market it with the schools. We market it through all of our media avenues, but definitely getting lead time and sharing that information, even with the commissioners, to share on your social media.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Great. I mean, I can think of our local elementary school has a spring fling. You know, I would market it there, but there must be a way. And I'd be willing to work offline, you know, to get any sort of materials to market to the PTAs or whatever, because it's an unbelievable resource. So thank you. Okay.
Just had a quick question. Does that usually fill up the Smart Camp? I think it usually does, right?
It does.
Okay.
Great. I'm glad.
Great participation.
Yeah.
Good. All right. All right. Well, thank you again. Seeing no other comments on this item, we have the biannual transportation update.
Thank you again, Chair Erickson. This evening, we have Recreation Coordinator Angel Berfranco, who will be providing a brief update and overview of the last 6 months of the Senior Center's Transportation Program, otherwise known as the Senior Mobility Program, SMP.
Good evening, Chair and Parks, Arts, and Community Services Commissioners. This evening, I will be presenting an update to the transportation program at the Costa Mesa Senior Center. The program is made of 2 transportation programs. The Senior Mobility Program, or SMP, offers door-to-door services to senior residents of Costa Mesa for the Senior Center, shopping trips, personal care, social recreational trips, as well as many other forms of trips around Orange County. The second program is the Medical Transportation Program, or MTP, which offers medical transportation to local hospitals, pharmacies, and related conferences in Orange County. In this picture is the brand new shuttle procured from the grant awarded to the Costa Mesa Senior Center from the OCTA for the Enhanced Mobility of Seniors and Disabled, or EMSD grant. The grant will be available once again this fall. This grant could offer additional resources that will help the Senior Center streamline its routine system, further increasing efficiency internally for the program, bring in more attendees on a daily basis, increase ridership, class attendance, and seminar attendance. With the growth and development of the Community Trips program, additional funding could be made available to this program that encourages socialization, fitness, and community engagement. The transportation program continues to seek and receive feedback on processing, scheduling, and general transportation-related items through quarterly surveys, telephone, direct staff communication, and staff liaisons. SMP receives funding through OCTA by Measure M2 funds. The city provides in-kind services for MCP to match at least 20% of the cost for the program. For the 2018-2019 fiscal year, the city matched 30.2% funding with a total of $111,840 in operational cost. In-kind services continue to include a grant manager, recreation specialist, schedule router, backup router, fuel, vehicle maintenance, and related vehicle costs for the program. The Medical Transportation Program, or MTP, is funded by the Hope Community Benefit Grant in the sum of $75,000. Due to the restructuring of the grant, only community partners invited to apply to the grant are permitted to apply for funding. In December of 2019, the Costa Mesa Senior Center was once again awarded the Medical Transportation Grant through Hope Hospital to continue funding for the Medical Transportation Program. The Senior Center provides similar in-kind services for MTP as are offered for SMP. Participants registered for both programs need to be registered Costa Mesa Senior Center participants, must be 60 or older, must be Costa Mesa residents, and exhibit independence and ability for self-care. As always, all services for transportation are completely free of cost. One of the recent trends we have seen in our transportation program has been the drop in requests by phone for the Senior Mobility Program. As staff and scheduled routers are available at the front desk to assist patrons with requests, the preferred method for new and continued riders has been face-to-face interactions with staff to request rides. With medical transportation, phone calls continue to be preferred method of participants from this program to request rides, as participants from this program are experiencing more mobility issues than those participating from the Senior Mobility Program. The continued growth from the SMP program and the Community Trips program early in 2019 and 2020 have led us to create some projections for this fiscal year. If we continue with the success of the program, we are looking to add a growth in membership, one-way trips, and social recreational trips. The Senior Mobility Program currently has a cost per trip of $14.31, which is the lowest cost per ride the city has ever had for the program. If current trends for the program continue for the remainder of the calendar year, that cost per ride could drop further. This is nearly a $1.50 drop per ride from the cost per ride at the end of 18-19 fiscal year of $15.67. This is significant because OCTA Access program averages $50 per ride, and between all of the cities in the county that offer the SMP program, through OCTA, the city of Costa Mesa is below the average for the county, which is approximately $21 per ride. We presented some goals from the program in August that we believe were obtainable in 3 to 5 years. Given current projections, we will reach 2 of these goals this fiscal year. With additional resources, the city can reach the other 3 goals in the remaining 2 to 4 years projection, and we are adding a 25% growth in rides completed as a goal for the medical transportation program in the next 2 years. And these are the contact numbers for the program and staff overseeing operations and transportation. And this concludes my presentation. At this time, I can take any questions from the commission.
Thank you for the presentation. Fantastic. Any questions or comments from commissioners? I'll start by just commending the theme that I heard was increased service and lower costs. That's amazing. So congratulations. It's a great service on, for the entire city. So that's how I would lead off. Anyone else? Ditto. Yeah.
One question I have, is there anything that we could help you as a commission do to procure these upcoming grants? I mean, a letter of support from the commission or perhaps the city council at that level, or if there's anything we can do to assist you, I would be happy to do so.
Any and all support is welcome from commission and council. The call for the grant's actually going to go out in June or July of this year, and they're looking for submittal by September, at which point we'll be following the process that the grant requires in order to be able to be eligible for those fundings.
Any other comments or questions? Oh, yes.
Just a bit of news related to the Senior Mobility Transportation Program. Public Services, with our new sustainability manager, is pursuing a grant that would replace the vehicles with an electric bus, and it would be the first in our city's fleet. We'll be having meetings with Mr. DeFranco, next week. And we just now are filling out the forms to pursue this, and it's through the VW, the Volkswagen Restitution Program.
Fantastic. Great. Well, thank you again for all your efforts and the awesome presentation. Much appreciated. That concludes all of our presentations for the evening. We also have no old business, and item 10, new business, also is vacant. So item number 11 is the director's report.
Thank you, Chair Erickson. The city's winter session of recreation and community services activities and programs are now more than halfway through the regular schedule of offerings, with more than 200 classes and dozens of additional program and event offerings. With this, the latest edition of the Recreation Guide for the upcoming spring season recently hit more than 45,000 Costa Mesa mailboxes. Registration for the upcoming spring session of offerings began earlier this week for residents and will begin on Monday for non-residents. The school year's ROCKS program, after-school program, is located at 11 Newport Mesa Unified School District schools and is quickly approaching 1,100 registered participants, which is right in line with registration numbers as compared to this time last year. The city's free youth basketball and cheer program is entering the tail end of the season, and nearly 150 youth are participating between both of those programs. The department hosted a successful President's Week camp earlier this month that was filled to capacity, which was held at the Bolera Community Center site and at the Estancia Park while school was on break. The mobile recreation program has continued to bring play, homework help, and mentorship to several neighborhoods throughout the city during the last month. Thanks to the good weather, the program operated throughout most of the month and had more than 230 participants. With the cooler temperatures of the season, we offer slightly less programming at the Aquatics Center. We do, however, continue to see strong participation in our lap swim program, which is not unusual. We are also finishing up our most recent junior guard prep program. This month, in February, the class filled to capacity, which is a good sign for our summer aquatics program. The city's team program has remained busy with average attendance at each center for the month hovering around the 200 mark. The team program does have an upcoming free special event, the Capture the Flag event on the 13th, Friday, March 13th, which will be followed by the showing of the movie Maleficent at the Park, which is not a teen-specific event, but is open to the public. Our animal care services staff, along with our animal shelter and adoption service providers, saw more than 145 animals enter and exit our city animal care system during the month of January, with 61 animals being adopted and 10 being directly reunited with their owners. Be sure to keep up to date on the pets in our city with the bi-monthly newsletter, The Scoop. The winter season of youth and adult sports is underway and is about to begin ramping up even more for many sports organizations. Some of the city's athletic facilities were recently under rest and are or will be back open so long as the weather permits. With this, the opening day for Costa Mesa's youth baseball programs is scheduled for this Saturday, February 29th, in the morning at Costa Mesa High School, T. Winkle Middle School, and the T. Winkle Athletic Complex. These are all weather permitting as well. The DRC has extended its open gym times for pickleball as of Friday, February the 21st. Playtime is now held on Fridays from 8:15 to 10:15 a.m. Additionally, we are expanding the current pickleball schedule by an hour each day, Monday through Friday, and in March we'll extend that schedule to include Saturday mornings. There's also a free Knowledge and Health Fair Expo down the road at the Senior Center, upcoming on March 18th from 10 to 1. The event will host more than 35 vendors that will exhibit information and resources available to the community. And Fairview Park was the host site for education in January with an environmental restoration talk, a Sea and Sage Autobahn exploration walk, and a volunteer restoration day. A total of 75 community members attended these sessions. And as we reach the latter portion of the evaluation of the fly field activity compatibility with Fairview Park, we invite you to attend the special meeting of the Fairview Park Steering Committee, where a formal recommendation will be made to be brought before the PACS Commission in April. On the immediate docket, and as Commissioner Fay mentioned earlier, there are ongoing recruitments for city committees. The applicant window is currently open, and applications may be submitted until 5 p.m. on Monday, March 2nd. If any members of the public are interested, they should contact the city clerk for more information. Also on the horizon, we remind everyone about the upcoming Streetscapes and Medians Development Standards Study Session scheduled for Thursday, March the 19th. And I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Mr. Franco, Ms. Haberger, and Mrs. Pena, who all did their presentation this evening. The department has gone through several transitions, and we have a lean staff, but the great work that the staff do has continued, and I thank all of them for taking on additional work and just continue to do the great work of the department. And with that, I'd like to conclude my presentation, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Director Aguilar. Are there any questions or comments for staff? Okay. Seeing none, I will adjourn the meeting. It is 6:50 p.m. Thank you all for being here, and have a great night.